let's have some objects as attributes inside our class. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. When we are talking about having an object as an attribute, basically what we are talking about is to have an attribute of type of another class. Actually, we already have one here. We are assigning the name to be string, and if you notice, the string was with capital S, and if you keep your mouse on it, it says it's a class. However, let's have much more fun. And by the way, we had two more, humans. But let's have some fun here. Let's say that we want to separate the concept of health, age, and the strength, and the name being something for themselves. And we can use it for more than just humans. For example, if we have orcs, ogres, or whatever else, dragons, those dragons should have health, age, strength, name. So by taking these parameters out of this class into their own class, we make sure that we have a type that we can use in many places. Okay, let's call it character properties. This is a class by itself, and we get these out of here, inside of here, and of course I make it private. And now the seater needs to change because we don't have health. Also, here we don't have health. No health whatsoever. However, this encapsulation now happens inside the character properties itself. We forgot the name. Let's make it encapsulated. So I will just copy something, paste it, and we say get, or we call name, and that's it. So return name. We don't want to change the name in the game, and we are returning a string. Okay, so we have a class right now. This class has some attributes that are being encapsulated. Don't pay attention to these errors. These are related to here. And we want to use that character properties here. So we say a private character properties type, and we call it properties. Now, inside the constructors, here we say properties equals to new character properties. Notice that we didn't assign any constructor to this class. Well, that doesn't make a problem because the empty default constructor is already there. This time here, now we want to have a constructor that accepts age, health, and strength. However, we don't have this. If I keep the mouse, it says create constructor, and it jumps into the character properties. It will create the constructor with parameter types and names, but the parameter types and names are being rounded by rectangles, means that you can change them properly, and I accept that this is int, age, int, health, int, strength. I just hit tab on keyboard. Now we say this.age equals to our age, this.health equals to the health parameter, and this.strength equals to the strength parameter. Nothing new here. And by the way, I want now to have a string name as the parameter, and we say this.name equals to name. Why did I accept the name? Because name is a get only attribute. Okay, now for this constructor, we will have a string name for the human, because now we want to send in the name before the age and others. Now, we are making a new human. We give him a name. We say that the age is 100. And by the way, we can have a parameterless constructor that assigns default values to these and the name. I specifically dropped that because I don't want to have something like that. And that's it. For Alice, we just need to change this section and give the name. Now we have our human work. However, this one is problematic because we have to give the name. So the name is human. The default age is 1. The health is 100. The strength is 1. For example, these are the default values. These are the custom values. Going back to here, now that we have Alice dot, oh, we don't have properties. Why don't we have the properties? Because we made properties a private thing. You notice? But we didn't give access to those properties. So we say public that sends a character properties return properties. We don't need to assign properties outside of here. So we say properties dot heal Alice dot properties dot health. All the errors are gone, and by doing this, we encapsulated all the values that we wanted inside a new class type. And now, other than human, if we, for example, have a new class called dragon, the dragon may not have many of the characteristics of a human, but it has properties, and the properties is accessible. And this is our dragon. Notice that we didn't create any instances for a dragon, but we made sure that the dragon has the base properties. An example here being this inventory count. Humans have inventory, dragons don't. But still, every dragon will have name, age, strength, and health. And this is one power of object-oriented programming. Basically, we created our own object and we assigned that object as an attribute for as many other objects as we need. Things are getting a little bit overwhelming here. Let's create a folder, or in this case, it's called package. Let's call it creatures. Move dragon, human, and vampire to creatures. Refactor and do refactor. Also, we want to have another package, and this is called base info. And now we can move the character properties inside base info, refactor, but we have problems both in character properties for dragon, in here for human, and by the way, we didn't add anything to creatures yet. And if I go back to main, we don't have these here. Notice we have imports. This is called a package address. Basically, from the root of project, we are going into the creatures folder, then getting the human class. And that is why we have human here. However, for human, we are defining human to sit inside a package called creatures. And notice that when we were creating it, we said create new package. We are accessing this package and the class in the main, but we don't have any imports. So I can do two different things. I can notice the package for the base info. It says base info. So either I can say import, and it did actually import it by IntelliSense. I could have typed it myself. Import base info, character properties. And now the errors are gone. Don't pay attention to these. If you look at the right-hand side, there is no error. But if you click on two errors, it says main string Alice health. Okay, let's come back here. It's fixed. Now we go back. These should eventually be cleaned by themselves. IntelliSense is a little bit derpy sometimes, like today for me. But if you close human and reopen it, you see this only one related problem. It says that make properties final. Okay, let's do that. And the error basically happens inside dragon because dragon didn't import the package. So I say import, and as I said, IntelliSense is a bit derpy. It did import itself. However, if you have this problem, move your mouse on top of this. It says cannot resolve. Hit Alt Enter. Sometimes you get that import here. Sometimes like here it's derping, and if you open this triangle, it shows import class. So if you do that, again, it will automatically import it. This error is gone, and we don't have any other errors. The main duty of packaging is to organizing your code. Now I can only have main in the root of the project, everything else inside in an organized manner of subfolders. You can have subfolders inside another package. For example, here we want to make another package and call it enemies. And we will move dragon and vampire inside enemies and do refactor again and do refactor. And now if I look at dragon, the package became creatures, enemies, and then the class is dragon. Still, we have access to import the base character properties. And if I ever use dragon here, so say a dragon, you notice that now we have creatures.enemies. If I hit enter, I will have this import automatically being added up. If it didn't, you have to somehow add it, either by using Alt-Enter or this arrow key, or type it manually. And we call it dragon equals to new dragon. We are using the default constructor here because dragon didn't have the constructor that we gave inside humans class. Dragon is a completely different class. It is defining a property, but it's not assigning anything to it. If I want to do anything on dragon right now, I will get a null point exception. I hit Alt Insert and choose constructor, and I can have a properties. If I do so, now I can assign a properties here, or alternatively, I can do whatever I did in human. I say it's new character properties, and you see that now we want a name. For example, let's do the exact same thing from human. We get a name, we get a blah, everything. For the constructor, so now we give the name to the constructor of properties, age, health, and strength. Now we have a problem in main because now we need to assign names here. We say the end dragon. If you are familiar with Minecraft, I don't know how old he is. Let's say 1,000 years. Let's say that he has 1,000,000. Now, here is a trick that you can use for numbers. Use underline. And finally, the strength is 5,000. And this underline is not causing any problems. It is just a visual thing for yourself as 1,000 separators. So basically, the health of the dragon is 1,000,000 now. And now I can access to my dragon object properties health, and it will become 1,000,000, and it will print 1,000,000 here for you. See? And this is the power of packaging. You can assign your packages to your classes either by putting them inside subfolders. It will automatically being packaged. If it was not there, you can package it yourself. And then using imports, you can import the package you want. Sometimes you see the same name for different things. For example, inside enemies, I can add a class called main. Let's keep it there, empty. Now, if inside this one, I will say main, you see that we have a default package, means this class main under the root of the project, or we have creatures.enemies main, means this main. Also, we have something from com, sun, tools, Java, C as main. Which one of these you want? We say this one. Now notice, because the class itself is called main, now we have the package name in front of the class. And we call it main equals to new main. And again, here in front of the class name, we have the package name. If at any time you see this, it means that the name we are using is somewhat related to this class or subclasses, because we can have subclasses in this class. We will talk about them in another video. These are just the package addresses of the class we are using. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun, everyone. Bye.